Hello there guys, I'm James back. So in this video, as promised earlier, we shall be learning how to create a very basic window with those three buttons on the top, that is a minimize button, a maximize button, a close button, and you'll be also able to close the window as well. So without further introduction, let's get started. And first of all, I hope that you have figured out which IDE suits you. That will be either Eclipse, NetBeans or BlueJ, or if in case you are using IntelliJ, you can follow along with me, or that is completely your personal preference. And in the case of JDK, I'm using the JDK version 1.8, and that should be installed. Okay, and let's start IntelliJ. And this is the very first window of IntelliJ. This is the very first window that appears before you when you start IntelliJ, and we are intended to create a new project, and press that. Let's click on that, and this window appears, and on the left corner, left pane, click on the Java. That will be the default selection, and leave everything as the default there. Click next, and don't check this checkbox, since we are not creating any command line application. We are dealing with graphical user interface. So and in this window you should be providing your project name and path. And for the project name, since we are dealing with a basic window, we shall name it as it is, or simply basic, as your wish. You can give any name as your wish. And for the location, I shall be giving it as in the local disk E. I shall be navigating to IntelliJ projects directory, and press OK. And it's done. Click on finish, and it will be generating our project there. As you can see, some tasks are being carried out on the background, and now everything has been cooked up for us. And so up to this point, you have created a new project, and you will be reached here in this window, and you will be having these two directories, external libraries and the source project directory. And expand this IntelliJ projects, and whatever your name of your directory is, and right click on the source directory, and go to new and create a Java class. Okay, that's so simple. And for this case, we shall name it as basic, or just basic, or to say basic window itself. Okay, press OK, and everything is being done for us. Remove those comments, and I hope that everything is fine. Okay, I will also uploading the codes to GitHub as well, so you can use that for future reference. I will be linking that in the description as well, so please check the description for those codes. So first of all, if you remember in the previous video, we have had a general idea about the code structure there, and we were having three import statements. The first import statement was java x.string.star, and the second one being java.awt.star, and the third one, which is not necessary in this case, java.awt.event.star. As the name suggests, it deals with event handling. AWT stands for Abstract Window Ticket, as you may be familiar with it. This third import statement is not required in this video, since we are not yet started with event handling, but for the sake of the rest of the videos, we shall keep it there. And I hope that you might be familiarized yourself with these three import statements, and the order is not a matter in the case of these three import statements, but these import statements must appear on the appear as your very first 3 lines of code. And so next we were having our class, and it should extend, if you remember, the JFrame class. So I hope that you'll be familiar with the inheritance and stuff like that, object oriented principles that I had mentioned as the part of the prerequisites. In case you have not watched the introduction video, I would suggest you to go and watch that. And now, as the first code, we are having the constructor. In case you remember, the constructor in Java has the same name as the class. So what's the name of a class? Basic window. So give the same name as the class. So our constructor carries the same name as the class, and with empty parameters. And in case you remember, the constructor is a method that gets automatically be called when objects are instantiated. That means when we create an object of a class, the constructors are automatically called, and what is inside those pair of curly braces gets executed. So I hope that's clear. And now let us proceed to the main function, public static void main of string array of strings, and where we shall instantiate, shall get indentation a little bit, instantiate this basic window class, name the object as GUI and basic underscore window, and this one calls the constructor, instantiating the object, thereby calling the constructor. And now this says typo there, static. Okay, I think that's fixed. Okay, everything is working fine. Now let's proceed to our main code part. So up till now you have already seen this code in the previous video. This boilerplate code which will be repeating every time when we in the future videos too. So now let's proceed on how to use those pre-built methods and stuffs. So actually, what do you mean by a framework? A framework provides us with the pre-written, pre-cooked methods and properties that we can be used in our code to accomplish our tasks, which makes the process more smoother. In the case of graphical user interface frameworks, it provides those. It makes the task much more easier by providing those stuffs pre-cooked, pre-built, pre-available. Okay, now let's start by declaring a superclass, by calling a superclass, and the superclass takes a string as a parameter. As you can see, the IntelliJ automatically fills in what the parameter actually is. As you can infer from the parameter name, it is a title, and the title stands for the taskbar, what appears on the title bar of the window. Now the super keyword here refers to that it calls the superclass of what class we are in right now. So right now we are in the basic window class, and that class extends the JFrame. Now JFrame has some pre-built methods and properties available, and what we are doing is that we are calling the method available in the JFrame class, which sets the title of the window. Okay, I hope that is being clear. Now we can name it as basic window, anything as per required. And in this video we shall be learning almost 5 new pre-built methods. So now let's proceed. And the second one is set default clause operation. As you can see, the IntelliJ automatically suggests you what it is likely to be when you types it. As soon as I type set, it automatically suggested me that it will be likely to be set default clause operation, and the parameter should be jframe dot exit underscore on underscore close. So don't be afraid by these codes. It's very simple. There's some boilerplate code. Now what does this does? So the set default close operation, as the name suggests, it makes sure that when we press this close button, it should terminate the complete execution of the program, including the window should be closed, and also the program should be finished. And that's it. And the next method is set visible. Okay, there's spelling mistake here. Okay, now set visible takes a boolean parameter, a single boolean parameter that should be either true or false. Now most of the methods in the Swing Framework 2 is almost self-explanatory, and it ensures that the window should be visible or not. Now in our case, we require the output show or output, so we can set it as true. Okay, now we have the set size method that sets the size of the window in terms of pixels. Now the first parameter is the width and the second parameter is the height. Now let's give it as almost 400, and as I mentioned earlier, it automatically fills in what the parameters are. Now for the last parameter, it is okay, and that's it. Now let's run it and look how it looks like. I hope that everything works fine till now. Okay, let's build it. So actually there's a shortcut for that, Ctrl plus F9, but for the sake of this video we shall be going the manual way. And as you can see, several processes had been going out on the background, and as you can see, the message has been displayed, compilation completed successfully in the time. Now let us run it. When you hover over this arrow, run basic window. Okay, now you'll be getting a basic window. As you can see, we got what are intended by us, and we can minimize this button, we can maximize maximize this window, and we can play around with it. Oh. And if you have noticed, when the window appeared, it was of the default size 400 in height and 400 width in terms of pixels, and we can also resize the window as per required. Now this is something awkward, isn't it? So who wants the window to be resized? I don't think so anybody likes that. So we can prevent that from being happening by mentioning that set resizable to false. So what this method does, as the method is method name is self-explanatory, it prevents the window from being resized. So it takes a boolean parameter, either true or false, and it sets to false, and the default value is true. And if we didn't call this function, call this method, the default value will be true, and the window will be capable of being resized. And as you may have noticed, when I click the close window, in the console it has been printed that the process finished with exit code 0, and this was done by this set default close operation method. Cool, isn't it? So and now let's run it, build it again and run it, and let's check that whether it's working or not. Now the window is able to prevent that resizing. Yes, as you can see, we are not getting that tool to resize, and also if you have noticed, the maximize button is also disabled. That means if the window is not capable of resizing, what's the use of the maximize button? And that's it. And as I have promised, I have already guided you on how to create a basic window from scratch. And first of all, we are having these 3 import statements. Then we are having this class. It should extend the JFrame class. And first of all, and also make sure that this statement must be the first line of code in your constructor. Otherwise, the compiler would throw errors. And since we are calling the super class, it should be the first super class method. It should be the first line of code in the constructor. And what this does is that it sets the title of the window, and the next line of code sets the default cross operation as already discussed, and the set visible function makes sure that the window is visible, and the set size method sets the size and width and height of the window in terms of width and height, the first parameter being the width and second parameter being the height, and the last parameter being the set resizable please forgive me, set resizable method, which makes sure that which prevents that window from being resized. So, and finally the main method, which is instantiate this class and make sure that the constructor is being called, and inside the constructor these methods are being called. So I hope that you may have a little bit idea, or not a little bit actually. I have guided you from scratch, so I hope that you'll be already be familiar with those codes and stuffs. And in the next video, we shall be introduced to various widgets like labels, buttons, and there are various widgets available as part of the Swing framework. And that's it for this video, and please like this video, and also subscribe this video, as well as hit that bell icon on the next to the subscribe button, so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a video. And that's all for this video. Thanks for watching.